Last match of the group stage. Oh boy, we have 7 decisions made already. Here comes number 8, who will join the players in the playoffs. This could be the only undead in 1-2-0, or it's the WGL debutant, the youngest kid in the scene, 19-year-old 15 Sway. What an impact that would be. What a story that would be to see the hybrid human night elf in the round of 8. Muted.
It's always wonderful to see these young kids coming up, making it through the ranks. And, you know, the interesting thing is now, 1-2-0, he is more of the veteran. He is more of the battle-hardened player. But he used to be in that spot. He used to be the 18, 19-year-old kid that was coming up and was making a name for himself. Now it's 15 Sway, his opponent here, who's staring him down. 1-2-0's success was unbelievable when he started becoming really good. He was able to win championships already at this 19, 20-year-old mark. 15 Sway isn't quite at that stage, but he has looked pretty good here at times, certainly. He was able to 2-0 Lawliot in a really strong game. And 1-2-0 having signs of brilliance here in his early matches in the group stage, but didn't get the victories. Always dropped the maps. Against Foggy he dropped one, against Lawliot he dropped one. And that now puts him in the inferior position in his last match.
True that. The situation here is if 15 Sway just gets a single map, he has a better result than 1-2-0, has a better result than Lawliot, and he follows Foggy into the playoffs here. 1-2-0 needs the 2 maps. He needs the 3-pointer. And it's not gonna be easy. First question is, will 15 Sway play Human or Night Elf? I would say he should play Night Elf, as 1-2-0 looked a little shaky in these matches against Lawliot, also against Foggy. Not the perfect execution that we are so used to seeing from Happy, of course. And there might be a chance, man, but I'm not too sure about 15 Sway's matchup versus Undead. Currently with Night Elf, he is 3-1 on this patch. They never played on this patch, but of course the favorite is 1-2-0, historically 3-0. 15 Sway did take a map off of him, though. There was Yule Cup in 2020, quite some time ago. Last result was a 2-0 for 1-2-0 in Yule Cup 2021.
And in that Yule Cup, in the most recent encounter, 15 Sway did play Human, by the way. Looking at the maps here, 15 Sway removes Last Refuge and Northern Isles. That looks like Night Elf vetoes if I ever saw one. And 1-2-0 vetoes AZ and Echo Isles.
Yeah.
Echo Isles, that's a map where usually his fast expansion is very strong. Okay, interesting. So we're left with the 2 new maps, Autumn Leaves and Tidehunters.
You say that they're very strong, but he lost both matches on Echo Isles to Foggy and to Lawliot, so maybe an adjustment from the group stage matches. I would certainly see that. We have it confirmed. It is 15 Sway as Night Elf. So 1-2-0 with a very one-dimensional group stage here. 3 Night Elf opponents. Can he do it? Can he win these matches back to back? If there would be any other tournament, we'd say, 1-2-0 is the favorite, he's gonna do that easy. But with all the pressure on him now, hopes of China on him as well now, everybody in the pre-match interview said he is one of the big favorites. Right after Moon, Lin, and alongside Colorful, 15 Sway could cause the upset of the tournament.
Absolutely. Can the young player here keep his nerves in check? That's sometimes the issue, when the stakes rise and the mental game comes into play as well. 1-2-0, of course, is a veteran, a former champion. He has been here before. There's a bit of pressure on him as well if he was to lose here and not make it out of the group and rather see 15 Sway advance. There would be some fan backlash, I would imagine. We've seen that from the Chinese community before. They can be a bit ruthless at times. But 15 Sway, he's going to have one of the biggest chances of his career here on our first map, Tidehunters. Ghoul build opening by 1-2-0. Keeper by 15 Sway. It's all standard so far.
It is. Standard would also be seeing 1-2-0 in the playoffs the past 4 times in Gold League. He was there, but also 3 times eliminated there in the round of 8. His last semi-final run was the summer of 2019, so 2 years ago. The year before he was eliminated in the group stage. 15 Sway, first big tournament ever, first Gold League ever, never made it to a DreamHack, was playing next twice, was also there, eliminated relatively early, but in TED Cup and in Yule Cup, he made it into the playoffs, so he has the talent, he has the skills, does he have the nerves to bring his A game now in this situation.
I hope so. He will have to. 1-0 with a DK running out right away, not doing any creeping, and going for the backpack upgrade. That's a build that I think Happy recently pioneered. Death Knight starts harassing right away, tries to slow down the Keeper, and the ghouls can, in the meantime, creep up to level 2, sometimes even to level 3, if the map is favoring that well enough. And here on this map, you can definitely creep with ghouls only pretty well. You can go for the first camp outside your main, get some experience there. You can also creep the natural with only the ghouls, and the green camps in the middle as well, so I like this quite a bit here, this build on this map.
Okay then, little deny on the Treant by the creeps. Would have loved to get that experience in. Keeper's not level 2 yet. Claws of Attack helps to defend this DK. We see this in multiple matchups where we have the DK roaming and harassing. The more damage you can get onto him, the better it is in the long run, of course. 15 sway, teching already. No expansion yet, and here's the before mentioned creeping with the ghouls that you love so much.
That is going to be level 2 for the DK because he got a bit of experience from the Treant. Just this camp wouldn't be enough, so he needed a bit more, which he did get. But also 15 sway is going to clear up this natural here. The DK creeping at the green, perhaps, in the middle. Well, it seems like he's just running around at the moment. That is going to be level 2 for 15 sway now, and we should be expecting an expansion here any moment.
Exactly. 1-0 was also playing this map against Lawlight, by the way. That was the map he won. It was a very, very good match again. But okay, level 2 unlocked. Staff on the DK, wonderful. And that looks like a very decisive push already.
Summons the Treant, so there's no mana for Entangle right now.
Yep.
This is going to be an easy cancel for 1-0. Maybe 15 sway should have sent back the Keeper to the main faster to get up some mana. And yeah, this is certainly going to be a cancel. How expensive can he make this for 1-2-0? There's Wisps here for the detonate, but it's also pretty early in the Tree of Life's lifespan. Doesn't have much health yet, so yeah, this is an easy cancel for the Undead.
It is nighttime. We don't see Shadow Melt yet. There's also no dust. We traded Archer for Ghoul, but the Ghouls retreat already. The Wisp survived, of course, due to the cancel. And that was okay. It was expensive, but it's okay. It's salvageable as the tech is running. Supply looks even. We're both on the way to level 3. Graveyard is coming. Good punch by 1-0, but game's not over yet.
Oh, he comes back in. It was the fake back, Neo. Here he is once more and gets the cancel again, this time with only the DK and skeletons. Okay, some ghouls also being brought in. It's going to be some ghouls going down by 1-0. Leaving no doubt here who's got the top dog so far in this game.
Yeah, also just, I know you weren't there yesterday, but body language alone from 1-0, not leaning back in his chair, not slouching too much. This is how we want to see him play. Level 3 for the Keeper, though, makes the life a little harder.
Yeah, nicely done there. Perfect last hit timing. 1-0 wanted to go in for the deny, but wasn't quite able to get it.
Whoa!
Double Ancient of Wind. Wow. Haven't seen that in a while. Gonna go into mass air here. 1-0. Is he even gonna scout for this? Normally nobody does this anymore. And yes, he is. His skeleton scouting on point as always.
That's why we call him the Necromancer. Goes to tier 3 though, nonetheless, pretty much immediately for that orb. Big upgrade. And there were wars against Moon when this was the meta. He is definitely capable of kiting this mass air army around the entire map, taking as little damage as possible, webbing as many units as possible, and then fight when the situation allows it. But okay, curveball 15 sway. 1-0, how do you react?
Yeah, super old school here. The Keeper and Alchemist into mass air. Towards the end of the mass air phase, Nihilus were playing more and more Demon Hunter because Demon Hunter is just much better in the late game. Without an Alchemist, of course, you don't have the Acid Bomb, but the mana burn of the Demon Hunter normally is just more valuable. But what, of course, the Alchemist gives you is quick creeping opportunities. And the Keeper is coming in for a bit of base harass, gonna start attacking these Acolytes, and I think there's no way to save this Acolyte. I think that one's just dead despite the coil.
Oh, Micro seems to be on point. Tree is reaching around. But that Treant is dead, and 120 salvages this masterfully.
Yeah, and that's because he didn't go for level 2 Entangle. If this was level 2 Entangle, he would have gotten the kill. He went Treants instead, which is an unusual choice. Like, if your opponent is counter-expanding, then Treants level 2 always, but that's not the case here. Missing out on a kill opportunity here, which would have been very expensive over the next minute or so for 120.
Okay, a little bit of creeping phase here. 15 Sway needs to get the numbers up. Expansion not started yet, making massing, of course, a little harder. Sobi Mask for the Alchemist is absolutely amazing. So is the Lich inventory with a +8 damage. As it's not the most tanky units, Hippo Riders and Fairy Dragons especially can be taken out relatively quickly with the right amount of focus. And that's level 3 for the DK.
Big level up there for the coil. What is his army? Still pretty small. Difficult question now for him. How late does he want to push? The longer he waits, of course, the more mining is going to be happening from the Night Elf. But also, he needs Destroyer Form first. He wants to have 50 supply, ideally first. Maybe even some Fiend upgrades. Armor upgrades, especially on the Fiend, is very valuable.
Dude, 120
also needs to go for the orb.
120 with the happy hack on the Lich, double claw, circlet mantle, really, really nice. On the other side, we see Chemical Rage on the Alchemist on level 2. That's a little bit more damage. That means no heal spray. Acid Bomb, super powerful, obviously. Marketplace goes to the Night Elf. That's the big consumable for him. 120 can't go for that. And this is now the mass that we need. 120 was stuck on 40 supply for a little bit. 15 Sway's expansion is paying off, and now we rise to high numbers in supply. Can 15 Sway overwhelm? Will he bank a little bit? What's the approach?
I think he's just gonna creep purely, get as many levels as he can, and then just fight when he has to fight when 120 is attacking. This Night Elf army does not do well in even supply. Does not do well on low supply. You need at least 60 supply to take a fight. Rather 70. And you want to be up by a good amount ahead in supply over the undead. What you can also do, if you don't want to fight though, is go for the Acolytes. This army, of course, very mobile, can easily snipe Acolytes in the back of the base. And 120 is doing this very patiently. He's not pushing for a long time, just creeping.
Yeah. I mean, that would be a good approach by 15 Sway, right? If he wants to dodge the head-to-head fights, if he's not feeling comfortable in the micro department, then go for the Harass. Many undeads fell to this. We have 2 big mana potions, by the way. One on the Keeper, one on the DK, and man, Mana Stone on top. What is this inventory for 120?
Yeah, sick finds for 120. Perfect items across the board. It's going to help him out tremendously. And sitting now at 50 supply, can go into upkeep soon as well, if he wants. We have a Shredder for 15 Sway.
Yeah, he was super low on lumber for a long time.
Yeah. You don't need much lumber at all, though, to support this strategy. Like, normally you can just make 3 wisps and then you're good, but... Alright. Did invest into the Shredder. There was a bit of gold that he had to invest additionally. Now he's going to have the option to creepjack here. 120 up on the high ground, creeping at the lab, but 15 Sway still not wanting to engage in yet. I guess his idea is if 120 leaves this side of the map and goes over to an attack, that's when he's going to run in, perhaps.
Okay, so go for the turtle on the left-hand side, goes for upgrades, which of course makes a lot of units a lot stronger. He was banking for a little bit at 50, but not for too long, so he's going up to 50, needs another Moonwell very soon to get up to the high numbers, because Fairy Dragons, they really don't do much damage. And 120 clearly learned a lesson from Happy there, pimping his Lich even further.
And now it's going to be an expansion versus a main base attack. 120 still sitting at 50 supply. We're saving a lot of gold. He may have some towers already. Oh, no, he doesn't. Ooh. Kind of surprised about that. This was a fairly obvious run by. But 120 trying to snipe the Tree of Life. It does have Nature's Blessing, but these wisps can easily get nuked as well.
He should TP. He should... Okay, he's going for the Haunted Gold Mine. And... I guess they're trading bases, but that Haunted Gold Mine is broken. It's only the expansion.
You can remake it though. 120 has enough resources here to make a Haunted once again. Sniping Acolyte, that's actually really valuable right now.
Wow!
120's economy is super shot.
I would say that He's also stuck, has to go for another ziggurat. He's gonna be supply stuck at 50. Not even sure if he can remake all the acolytes. Man, the door to the quarterfinal for the young talent is wide open.
It's far from over though. He lost the expansion. He still can't take a fight. Can't take a fight for a long time. And if 120 just gets his own expo up again, or his main base gold mine up again, this is still very doable. This Tree of Life has to finish. And 120, he did rebuy a TP. Continues to creep up more. 15 sway now. He has to fly in and cancel this again. And then 120 is going to be in real trouble.
So annoying. Also 120 used the big mana potion already. Can't use that in a fight. Level 4 Lich. Gets another... Oh, he has the other mantle.
Yeah, he sold that mana potion actually for more gold. Which makes sense. He doesn't need it to be able to take a fight. He's going to TP in now. This is going to be a cancel again for 120. Question is, how expensive is this going to be for the Night Elf?
He saved the TP.
It seems.
He saved the TP before, so he can clearly go out now, get another acolyte for his efforts. And this, how good is this observer ward right there?
Yeah, very, very nice to have indeed. In the meantime, we have more upgrades coming. But also the undead heroes are getting very strong. 4 levels already. The Lich's right click is still impressive. And 120 sold the big info potion. I like it. Doesn't need it. He's not going to be threatened in a fight. He just needs gold right now. And that's why he sold that item.
Only 53 supply. 15 sway, still not in fighting shape. Did he rebuild the expansion? I'm not even sure.
He did that earlier. Yeah, it should be pretty close to finish now.
Okay.
At least the Tree of Life.
Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, good decision. Necessary decision. Always need to be up 1 base. 15 sway. Floating 400 gold. Catching a destroyer and a ghoul.
But now 15 sway not in position for the run by again, which means 120 could start his own attack.
Dangerous.
Seems like he's pretty wary right now. He doesn't want to have his haunted taken out again.
Are we still part of the map on Netties, by the way? You know that?
No, we're not.
Shame. Absolute shame. Red spot for 120. Can be a creep jack. Ooh, is he going for it? There's still... This will take some time. 120 has a TP. Does he have to give up the red spot? Oh yeah, immediately.
Oh, did he get the item?
Yeah,
Yes.
plus
Plus
12.
12. Dude, how much damage does Lich have? This is like plus 35 or something?
Plus 30.
Oh, he sold it!
Okay.
He sold it.
Maybe
Needs
feels he needs an
gold.
invul or something, or it's just that he's lacking gold. Alchemist level 4, not too bad. Now we have a 20 supply lead, which usually is unwinnable. But if it's Fiends versus Fairies, that is kind of the norm.
Yeah, and importantly, the hero levels are super high. Especially this level 2 aura is gonna help out a lot. But the fairies are also upgraded. If this was 0-0 fairies, I think this would be chanceless. But this is 2-2 fairies, I believe. 2-1 fairies.
Coil Nova
Focus
on
fire
the...
on the Alchemist right away. He's dropping low. The ghouls are dying quickly. It's only 4 fiends and 15 sway. He might truly be doing this, but it's far from over.
One map for the quarterfinals. 15 sway. Make yourself famous, kid. This is the kiting game now. Needs to web. Needs to run away. This is so stressful. And with Acid Bomb, you still do a lot of damage. I like the Frost Armor. Counters the Acid Bomb to a degree. But if they're locked down, there's not enough destroyers. Then they just fall.
Yeah, it's just such a huge amount of fairy dragons by now. And it seems like it's too much for 1-0 to deal with.
Oh, the
The
flare!
fairies that are webbed. And they're getting morphed, exactly. And we also have Dust, and 1-0 is about to lose this game here, possibly.
15 sway steamrolling the 2-time WGL champion. He wanted to catch up with Infi with the 3rd title, but this is not his tournament as it seems. The Night Elves too strong for him. 15 sway, are you even losing something here? Not too much. A hero focus might be what saves him, but there's just a staff shredder in as well to put more damage onto the fiends. The statues are falling. This is an utter disaster. Another fiend might be falling here. Dispel coming in, but it's GG and 15 sway, a 19-year-old in the top of the NetEase Championships. What a story.
Unbelievable. Great success for him. 15 Sway makes it through into the playoffs at 1-2-0. I think he can't believe it himself either. Did you see that? He moved his fist in front of his face as if to say, oh my god, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
And that is him as the only undead hope, not into the top 8. 15 Sway here. Victorious over him. Disappointing performance for 1-2-0. I think he pushed just way too late right there. If he just waits for the destroyer form and then attacks with like 40 supply, 45, this would have been perhaps the better call, but he just went for creeping. And at some point, this fairy army is going to be huge enough to take a fight.
Unbelievable. We always talk about these talents we have. The Hugs, the Ice Orcs, of course the 15 Sways as well in Europe, Johnny Cage and Dice. Johnny Cage already made it into the playoffs and now 15 Sway in a DreamHack. Now 15 Sway is doing it on Asia's biggest stage next to the World Cyber Games. Exclamation mark against Law Riot, then Foggy was clearly superior as he countered his play. 1-2-0 not doing that, again losing a map. He will leave these WGLs without a single win. That is just clearly not enough in a group like this. Wasn't expecting this mass air, I guess. And Chemico versus 15 Sway is our 4th quarterfinal. He played this really well, lots of patience, and keeping his nerves together is, I think, the toughest challenge. And he did that so well.
Yeah, 1-0 definitely disappointing the fans. He came into this tournament with great promise. He was the finalist of TED Cup 4 and 5, winning number 4, taking second and number 5 against Chimico. That was, and here, not made out of the groups. To be fair, the group was pretty hard, Group D here, but just the performance wasn't the greatest. We've seen him do much better than this before. 1-0. I don't know what it is. He's playing quite a bit. He's practicing quite a bit, but he needs to practice some more, I guess.
He's actually playing a lot. He played all the Tier 1 and Tier 2 tournaments. But yeah, he got a weekend off now. No undead in the round of 8. Crazy. 1 human, lots of night elves, lots of orcs. And 15 Sway, the guts to dash out the mass air in such an important match like this. Really nice, and the early game wasn't easy for him, getting his expo cancelled twice. At an early stage, of course, granted. But yeah, 1-2-0, not in the round of 8. Another slap in the face of the undeads in Asia after Mikhail not qualifying. Rough times for the Scourge over there.
Yeah, we've seen that before. Sometimes 1-2-0 just doesn't quite make it out, and if he doesn't, seemingly nobody does. Chimico versus 15 Sway. That's going to be our match there. That's going to be a fun human versus night elf, most likely. Seems like 15 Sway doesn't really want to play human mirror. Rather goes for night elf there. That's what we're going to be expecting for him. But we're not done yet with this series. We're going to have a second map, which is of no consequence, but it is going to be played. Autumn Leaves. And it's going to be a great victory lap now for 15 Sway. He can enjoy his victory. He can enjoy his big achievement to make it into the top 8. And 1-0. This cannot feel good for him.
No. Oh, yeah, that doesn't look happy at all. Oh boy. And Tide Hunters was 1-2-0's map as well. What a gut buster. Okay, I was a little worried what 1-2-0 is doing if he's hardcore trolling. You remember there was one game when he teched without a hero to tier 2. You remember that? I think it was Twisted or something. Could have imagined that in the realm of possibilities. But man, who would have thought that from Group D, Foggy and 15 Sway emerge? Not Lawliot and 1-2-0. Seriously, nobody. There's not a single person on this planet that predicted this.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. We were all sure 15 Sway was going to have no chance. It was going to be a fight between the other 3. But little did we know the young kid was going to upset everyone. And for the last game of the group stage, he's going to bust out a Warden. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, and this in style. Okay, this needs some momentum, of course, and some elaborated creeping. But I mean, he can't just give all his tactics away, right? There's no undead left in the tournament, so why not show it all? Fascinating. Fascinating that we have a 19-year-old in 2021 in such a state of the tournament. Unbelievable. Okay, then let's see how much willing 120 is to just get the 3rd point in the group stage. Or if he just, I don't know, ghoul rushing or whatever. Wouldn't actually be too bad against the Warden.
Fast expansion. We've seen that by 120 plenty of times before. Might be the plan here as well. He vetoed Echo Isles. Didn't want to play the Fast Expo there. Also didn't want to play Fast Expo on Tidehunters, but it's also doable, right? Now he's going to try once more.
Okay. Well, it didn't look too good against Foggy and Lawlight, but there was no Warden involved, but rather Keeper and Demon Hunter. So we'll see. Oh, that's already a lot of damage on the DK.
Local Shadow's pretty nice here to keep him safe. And... oh, the Warden. Did she steal the last hit? No, she didn't. Never mind. Okay. 1.7 on the DK. It was a close affair. And one ghoul is gonna go down. That's level 2. A bit more mana for the Warden. Going for more ghouls. Acolyte seems like it's in a little bit late, perhaps. But it's not the easiest expansion of all time if you want to do the setup.
Nope. Can you save that Archer somehow? It's turning nighttime very soon. There's no dust. Does he have the time, though? I think the fading time is too long. Frostborn hungers. And that makes Archer hunting a little easier as we have the aura now.
Gonna make everything a little bit easier. Always a really good feel-good upgrade to have. Getting the aura for the move speed and regen. Has a bit of necromancy still left. 15 sway with the Warden. Has a pretty good late game hero. So he could absolutely go into a 2-base kind of game. If you start off with the Keeper, you don't really want to allow the Undead to get that fast expansion. You don't want to go for a counter expo because the Keeper just simply isn't the best late game hero. But the Warden, if she gets to level 5 and level 6, ooh, she's capable of quite a bit.
Oh yeah. Also, once again, super annoying, right? The Haunted Goldmine harass on map 1 kind of won him the game, and Blink Fan into Acolytes. We've seen that before.
Yeah, on level 5 is super impactful. And now 15 Sway is going to creep up the natural. He went for the Mercenary Pull. I like that. Going to make that all a bit easier for him. Mantle, sure. Why not? And now 120 is going to come in for his own little creep jack. If he can take out the Shadow Priest, that would be a big deal. Ensnare lasts long enough. He gets the kill. Also traps the Warden, but she's a little too strong here to actually kill off.
Returns the focus, so 15 Sway not forced into Blink just yet. We'll probably go for it down the road anyway. It's just too strong of a spell. Mobility, always good to have. But Expo is up. And 15 Sway has to do something about this relatively soon.
That's his own expansion there, and 120 did not scout it yet. With skeletons, that should be scouted pretty soon. And with a decent number of ghouls, you're going to have a big window to cancel this expansion. It's very close to you. That's a specialty, of course, on Autumn Leaves. These naturals are very easy to creep, but they're also very close to the opponent to be pushed at many different stages in the game. As the Warden gets level 3, she gets a lot stronger, but the same is the case for the DK, who is a little bit hurt, which is always a bit of a danger against the Warden level 3.
Okay, now access to the shop as well. Staff, a wonderful weapon in the hands of that said Warden. 120 on the way to the tech now, finally. And what's 15 Sway's follow-up? Expansion here. Should be relatively easy scouted and countered.
Yeah, 120 was really close to seeing it there with the skeleton, but I think he didn't quite send it around the corner, so apparently he doesn't know about it yet. And the Warden gonna start dealing with these acolytes. There's no necropolis here yet. It is producing, but only about 50% done. And then again, it's gonna slow down the income by a lot.
120 and the Night Elves, man. It's always them. Staff back home, trying to do some damage. Maybe even with Fan on Knives one? I kind of doubt that. No, it's just Shadow Strike, single target damage. And just as on game 1, his expansion's getting cancelled.
Nice one of Mana Steel. Prevents the next Shadow Strike. Prevents the next Ghoul kill. Can he get the Berserker here?
Looks like it, right? With the
Coil,
coil?
200 damage. Oh!
Hey.
Big one.
Okay, cool to see that 120 wants to end this tournament on a high note, even though it doesn't really matter to him. He wants that 3rd point. He doesn't want a loss against 15 Sway here. He would leave this tournament undefeated, right? That's like the silver lining for...
Yeah. Kind of unfortunate that if it's a 1-1 here, it's gonna be the same amount of maps, right, between the two, but because of the 3-point win.
True, dude!
Yeah.
Didn't even realize that.
So both are gonna have 3 map wins, but 15 Sway is gonna make it through because for the win of a series, you're gonna get 3 points, of course.
Whoopsie! Engine of War lost. Shredder kill here. Okay. Getting him close to 4. That skeleton will be 4. Lures are up. Lich is coming. DK is very, very hurt. Doesn't want to expose himself to another Shadow Strike. And Warden is level 4. This is where things are starting to get dangerous.
But with him having tried to go for the expansion and that one failing, that really threw back 15 Sway immensely. He's not even trying with the Expo anymore. He's just going to stay on one base, going up to bears and such. He's going to need to get level 5 ASAP and then do tremendous damage against the economy. Still, however, missing quite a bit of experience for that.
Right. Yeah, it's just not too easy to get that now, is it? Like, where do you go without exposing your base too much? But good use of the Dryads here. Just scouting, there's no way to catch up with her, movement speed too high. Okay, Bears, Reju, Roar, tier 3. Plays it solo as well, right? So no Demon Hunter, no Panda, no Alchemist.
Yeah, absolutely. Gonna try to find some more kills now, I guess, but DK is healthy again. There's gonna be statues out in a moment. He's even got a mana potion. Use coils. Herself taking a bit of damage here, but Reju should be there.
She still didn't skill, by the way. No blink.
Battle Knives, of course, if it's gonna come to a big push, might be the better choice for her. But this is not good for 15 Sway here. Having these little, like, right-click trades in the middle and not leveling up. Of course, what if they would also like to have higher level heroes, but 3 and 1 is fine enough if he soon attacks with, like, 70 supply or something.
Yeah, 15 Sway is 20 supply down. This expansion is running for such a long time. Trying to nuke now. Got a Fiend for his efforts as mana is relatively low, but statues are healing against that, and as a trade, 1-0 will get a bear.
Perhaps even 2. There's no staff here.
Yo.
Coil comes in, saves that Fiend again, and things are starting to look a little bit dire here for 15 Sway. Gonna have to TP out. Perhaps save the bear. Nope, never mind.
Well, not the greatest victory lap I've ever seen. But hey, it doesn't matter. He will be proud. He will be so proud. Here we go. 1-0 continues to creep. Level 4. Then of course more movement speed makes Shadow Strike a little weaker. And yeah, as you said, 20 supply is a lot.
Tier 3 finally finished. 1-0 has these upgrades now. It's gonna have Destroyers and Frenzy Ghouls soon as well. Last hit. Did he steal it? I'm not sure, but the coil was kind of close.
Nope.
Ankh for the Warden. Okay.
Well, might be good. Might be very, very useful in a bit. As we have a Coil Nova lined up, and now there's a Destroyer to get rid of that Reju. With Blink jumping in front, trying to get Fiends off, which is always working to a degree. But Bear is so squishy against his army now.
Getting some kills here with the Warden. She's close to 5, but what she really needs is level 6.
Yep.
That's still far away. There
Yep.
we see the Blink again.
It's always the case with the Warden, right? If there's no Echo Harass, or she really jump starts onto a super quick level 5, it's a problem to play her.
Yeah. She's not the best late game fighter compared to a Demon Hunter Panda kind of thing. The Warden here goes down, has the Ankh. Happy to have found that item now.
Yep.
And one destroyer is even going down. Didn't get the experience because she was in the grave still, unfortunately.
And I guess it's just a matter of time until the Warden falls. Still fighting, still blinking out. A Lich and DK on the prowl. 1-2-0 says, hey, you got no expo? Nice.
And he could just push into the main if he wants. Gold for 1-0, not the highest, but he can go for a heal scroll right now. And then look to finish this game. Or he can just creep the rest of the map if he feels like prolonging this one. Both are fine. This is basically an unlosable position for the Undead.
Okay, yeah, I kind of agree. Not even a crazy hero focus would turn this around. Dark Ranger 3rd will probably get rid of a couple of Shadow Strike opportunities. And Ghouls vs Moonwells, man, that's a one-sided affair.
Nice deny. Prevents experience there from that Ghoul as well. Those Ghouls are easy to kill. For the A-bombs, it's a different story. But we don't have Disease Cloud yet, which is not ideal. Would love to spread that disease right now here. And there was one kill and the Warden got level 5. Alright. And now the journey towards level 6 begins.
It's a long journey. And I'm not too sure if she will make it. DK level 4 nukes again, blinks back to the last remaining Moonwells, to the last remaining healing. Not close to the shop really, so another nuke could make it. Shadow Strike with a good bit of experience here on that Abomination. So halfway there.
Getting nuked, however, and there's no Ankh this time. She's gonna go down. GG is called. That game was lost, but the series basically won, or rather technically drawn, and 15 Sway makes it ahead of 1-0 out of this group stage.
Yeah. The unluckiest map winner we've seen in a while. At least he played it seriously, no goofing around. But the big story is that Foggy and 15 Sway leave the group of death as the winners and will go into the round of 8. The youngest playoff participant since 1-0 himself, 5.5 years ago. 6.5 years ago, actually. 6 years ago? 5 years ago? 5.5, whatever. It's a crazy story.
Yeah, it's fitting that it was 1-0 kind of in the end, passing the torch metaphorically in 15 Sway. I hope this really lights a fire under him. I hope this is gonna give him a lot of motivation to keep on playing, to keep on improving. He played a really good tournament here so far. He's gonna go up against Chimiko, where he is the underdog. But he's gonna try to show us his best and maybe can even make the top 4.
That would be the craziest story since really GCS 2 back in early 2016. Oh boy. I'm so happy to see this new talent rising. And yeah, there's still reasons to grind, there's still reasons to practice. That's a big chunk of money for him as well with this $48,000 prize pool. The kid made 10k so far in his career, is among the top 100 of Warcraft of all time with that. But yeah, that's his biggest success in his career by far. And now up against Chimiko. Not without chances, but Chimiko is a tough one for sure. And what a victory once again for our LP club. Like, colorful, dominating the group, the only player without dropping a map. Focus rank 2 in the group with Moon after becoming a father, which is not too easy to do as well. And 15 Sway with this result. Cool to see this investment into Warcraft players pay off.
We asked this on the first or second day, right, what the big positive surprise of this tournament was going to be. We certainly didn't think it was going to be 15 Sway.
No.
Making it out, did we?
No one did. Like, everybody who predicted this is lying. There's no way about that. Freaking crazy. But yeah, let's sum it up. Let's sum up the group stage a little bit. Group A, Moon and Focus in, Fortitude and Alice out. Your comments, your thoughts?
This one is the group that certainly wasn't too surprising. I would say we kind of expected this, and South Korea looking good as always.
Okay, I thought with the circumstances that Fortitude might have a better shot, but his dreams got ruined on day 1 in that direct encounter versus Focus, so alright. Colorful, 6-0, incredible 9 points, very, very good performance. Still have yet to see a mistake from him, and Soen follows him in second place.
Yeah, Colorful with a tremendous performance here. He's looking like one of the top dogs for this whole title. And also cool to see him making it through. He's been working hard lately. He's been putting in the hours and it's paying off. And the disappointment definitely Sok. Linguagua also didn't play his best, but I think Sok came into this especially with more hopes for the humans. Sok at the moment not at his peak. And Linguagua also had a tough group stage there.
I gotta say, as much as this hurts me, Remo, Linguagua, my disappointment of the group stage almost, as, I mean, losing hero to creeps at a WGL, not allowed. Not at all allowed. He had a good start with the 1-1 over Sok, but the other 2 matches are not even remotely close, probably alongside the Alice matches, the biggest storms of this entire tournament, so gotta say, he can do better and hopefully he shows that at DreamHack. Group C, Chimiko over Lin, PCG over Hawk.
Yeah, these were the 2 favorites going into it. Chimiko and Lin, the question was who was going to take first place. Chimiko looking really good. Lin struggling a bit in some series, on some maps, not looking completely bulletproof. And their match was a great one. Chimiko versus Lin, they might meet again in this tournament. It would be the grand final. Honestly, that's absolutely not out of the question. And PCG and Hawk, they weren't quite on the same level as the other 2.
Yeah, it's the question, how would Hawk perform if there would have still been a chance? How would he perform if he takes that map over Chemico? But that's all theoretical, and in the end, there's a 4th place. And he loses to PCG. Like, also Hawk a little disappointing, even though a lot of maps were pretty good. Big surprise also, Foggy winning Group D alongside 15 Sway. 1-0 out without losing a series, and Lawlight again another tier 1 disappointment.
Yeah, the Undeads of Asia in shambles again. 1-0, not his best tournament here at all. He had some signs of brilliance in there, but also a few errors, a few grave errors. And Lawlight, his curse continues, unfortunately. Those are the negatives, Lawlight and 1-0, but 15 Sway, a great story for him, a great sign as well for the second guard of Warcraft players, for the young guard of Warcraft players, and Foggy. How wonderful to see him perform here so well as he always does.
Exactly. We're gonna have 2 WGL playoff debutants in Soen and 15 Sway. We'll see how they fare as they show the results of the bracket once again. Only 1 player not dropping a map, and it's Colorful. Is that his year, Remo? After 2nd place at DreamHack? He's gonna go for the gold?
He's definitely gonna make semifinals. Definitely.
Definitely gonna make semifinals. Okay, once we have the group stage slide out of the way, we're gonna show you the round of 8. We can do that right now. We talked about the group stage early. So here we go. Moon versus Soen, Korean Derby. Your thoughts?
Tough one for Soen. I mean, he's looked good recently, but Moon is an absolute killer in this matchup, and normally he always performs in the big tournament. We've seen a lot of Night Elf versus Orc, but you need to be super sharp, super on point. Soen will have to play his best here to have a chance.
Yeah, Soen for me, one of the positive surprises as well in this tournament. His execution is getting better and better every single time I see him, but the match against Colorful doesn't give me a lot of hope. Also, previous records against Colorful, Lawlight, Foggy, like the great Night Elf of this world. He needs a mega good day, and Moon needs an off day for him to advance, I guess. Chemico vs 15 Sway, 2nd quarterfinal.
Chemico, another player who has been looking extremely hot here. 15 Sway barely squeaked in, to be fair, but 15 Sway is going to have a chance, and he showed as well that he can be very strong in this matchup, as he demonstrated against Lawlight, where he 2-0'd the Korean. Well, he's playing it from the different side though, right? He's playing it from the other side. How can he do this now? Or is he going to go for a human mirror? 15 Sway has the chance here to be a little outside the box. If he wants to throw a crazy curveball, he goes to go for Undead versus Human. Although I would expect his Night Elf here to be shown once again. Whatever the case is though, Chimico is looking so hot right now. I think he must be the big favorite there.
Totally agree. 15 Sway is going to have a rough time. This is already an incredible success for him. If the road ends here, nobody would be mad at him, I guess. Focus was colorful. Your prediction was already Focus doesn't stand a chance. And I would agree. This colorful is a whole different beast than in any other WGL we've seen so far. And this is going to be a banger semi-final against either Lin or Foggy.
And Focus's game today against Moon doesn't instill me with much confidence, to be honest. There were some holes in that early game. It was pretty greedy, he was getting punished quickly, he lost control, he lost the game. It is still a very tough matchup for Orc to play, and I don't mean by any means that that's imbalanced, that's not what I'm saying, it's just hard to play. There's a lot of things you have to do right, especially early on, to make for a playable game in the mid-game, and Focus has been struggling there. And Colorful is a master of poking and prodding and finding ways early on to get ahead. Focus is certainly going to have to play this matchup much better tomorrow than he did today.
And Foggy needs to step up his matchup versus Orc as well, or what's your call there?
Lin is super good. We saw
Really?
Lin versus... Yeah, in this matchup. Surprising, right? We saw Lin, I think
you
it was
have
in the...
bold takes this WGL, Mr. Remo Demo.
I think it was the Smile Cup 2 when Lin played against Lawline in the grand final, and he was able to win that with 3-1, and it was just beautiful play. He was doing all those things so well that the Orcs have to do to be able to take a good mid game, and he has the skill, he has the experience to pull that all off. If he can bring it to the table, if Lin can bring his best game here to the table, Foggy's gonna be in real hot water. But then again, Lin has made some mistakes here and there this turn.
I agree. If Lin is not showing up in tip-top shape, Foggy might be able to eliminate, as he did before in Gold Leagues, especially, I guess we all remember the first time Foggy went to Shanghai with Ugri by his side, and there in the group stage he did eliminate Lin and made it out, and he has beaten Focus and Fly before. He's no-name in this matchup, and if Lin is not ready or has an off day, then Foggy into the semifinals is definitely possible. These playoffs will be all best of 5, so we have a WGL without a single best of 3, and they will be played Saturday and Sunday, tomorrow and the day after, 10 a.m. Central European Summer Time. Set your alarms, don't sleep, you don't want to miss any of these maps. It's gonna be so great.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the Warcraft festivities that we live for. These are the huge tournaments. These are the huge championships. These are the big stories as well for these players. Who's going to advance? Who's going to dazzle us? Who's going to disappoint us? Who are we going to have to say goodbye to? And who will be our champion? We'll see you again tomorrow. Until then, have a good one.
Remo already cutting this off. Okay, I was about to thank a couple of supporters here, and of course thanks our Patreons. We have a deal with CORSAIR, by the way, in case you're not aware by now. Check out CORSAIR, the link is in the description. Much love if you click that link. CORSAIR will get notified that, hey, people came from Back to Warcraft, so Back to Warcraft is actually worth the money we are spending on them. So just a click on the link helps already, and if you decide that the products are really cool, use the coupon code Back to Warcraft for a 10% discount. This also works for the weekly deals that they have over there at CORSAIR. Wild music all of a sudden. And of course, check out our Patreon. We released the podcast early yesterday. Remo, a couple of days ago, released his new movie recommendation. So if you're curious about that, check it out. It's patreon.com/backtowarcraft. 6 different tiers for any kind of budget, and the best supporters are, of course, Knubberquake's the Golden Goat, the one Golden Goat there is. We also have a couple of Midas tier people, the VIPs. Thank you, Toxie, thank you, Grinchy, thank you, Jgats, thank you, Pedrut, Save Orcas, Inscription, and Taggy. Inscription, looking forward to meeting you in Cologne, man. And the Profit tier is Burning Blades Don Dolare. That is so cool of you to support us throughout the summer. Seems like we're not getting an interview, and then Remo is right. See you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Back to Warcraft. Tell your friends and hype it up, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye.